Easy there, buddy. Easy. Two of them. I got two. Best way to do when you got two is you pick out the bigger one and you grab them, but I'm just gonna swing them. That's how you start the dadgum day off. The black got it first. Look, it actually broke one of my split ring. No, it just came off the split ring. The black got it first, and then the smallmouth got it later. So I put new hooks on last night for filming, and I must not have turned that all the way on the split ring because everything's still good. Yeah, I didn't put it all the way on. It's still on the... That's what happens when you put hooks on at 10 o'clock at night. That's pretty cool. Start the morning off with a little double. So we're out on the lake today, and it's probably, I mean, other than the pre-spawn, it's probably my favorite time because there's just so many things that you can do. The fish are biting. If there is a negative, it's just that they're all skinny. You know, a lot of them have spawned. There's still a few on bed, but a lot of them have spawned. They're just biting. You know, everything's wanting to eat. I mean, you can catch them deep, you can catch them shallow, but you got a lot of them garden fry. You got shad spawn kind of tailing off. And we got kind of a low light day, kind of an overcast. We got a big front coming in tomorrow, so I wanted to go throw a topwater all day. You know, the lake's probably as clear as I've seen it in a long time, and I just wanted to catch a bunch of fish, you know, smallmouth, largemouth, get some blow ups. But the big thing was just catch a bunch of fish. And that's what we're doing. And I got a new topwater that I'm throwing that's kind of starting to get to be one of my favorites. It's a walking style, you know, like the Spook. It actually kind of has the same action as Spook. It's just a lot smaller. You know, and in the years past, we've went, you know, you go to a smaller bait and there's disadvantages. You can't throw it as far. You know, they just didn't work as well, like the walking style. And this one actually, you know, my favorite topwater of all time is the One Knocker Spook, just because of the sound, how heavy it is. I can throw it, I can walk it fast. And this is almost identical. Like, with this water being real clear, I want to move the bait fast. And for a little bitty bait, like, I can bring it. Or I can just do it, you know, I can fish it slow. But this is the new Boyo. Why the name? I don't know. I'm sure they have a good reason for it, but that's what it is. And well, when this water gets clear, they'll eat it whenever. You know, I'm the kind of guy that used to have, you know, the 3-hanger Spook on and then the One Knocker Spook. And I still will throw that a bunch, don't get me wrong, but you get a day like today where the water's like it is, flat, calm. And a lot of the bait's small too. You know, water temperature's still hovering around 70. there's just a lot of things this time of year that happen. I mean, it's literally, I know, and I haven't been out here, but I know that we could go in a pocket and still find some straggler spawners. I know that we could go idle out deep and find a school, but just wanted to catch some on top. If we can just keep getting bit of, that sun stays. The water's clear enough though that it ought to, especially the smallmouth, they ought to eat it all day long. I got a chrome one laying down there. As soon as that sun comes up, this is the bone color, but as soon as that sun comes up, I'm gonna switch. Yeah, this one, this is actually was one of the prototypes that they sent me. And that's why I switched hooks on it last night. I had caught a lot of fish and it had been in the box, but you can tell that one's been through it already. And it's funny, the first day that I saw this bait, we were filming and they asked me to throw it and get some pictures on, with it and stuff, and I was hesitant just because of the size. And my first bite ever on this bait was a 7.5, 7.75, just a big old fish. And kind of opened my eyes a little bit. We haven't been out here, so I don't know what, I don't know if they're going to be on points or shallow spots or deep spots. Those two back there just came on a little high, like rock pile spot, so we may need to kind of run some of that, but I just need to go down this bank and figure out where they want to be at, and then we can go catch some. Little smallmouth. Easy, buddy. We're gonna give him one more bite, but that one, he didn't want it very bad. He just kind of swirled at it and then came back, and I want him to crush it. We'll try that. If the next bite's the same, I'm gonna clip that chrome one on and see if they don't bite it a little better. Oh gosh. They're still getting it, they're just... That's when it's hard to... See how he's just hooked on top of the head? That's when it's hard to switch baits, is when you're still catching them, but you're just not getting it good. I thought that fish was way bigger than that when he bit. This size fish right here is the perfect one to get a hook in your hand. All right, the next bite, if they don't get it good, I'm gonna switch. Another smallmouth. First time he missed it, but the second time he got it. He got her good. Easy, buddy. So when you're throwing this thing, or any topwater, kind of my rule is, I remember the first time, it was probably in 2000, there was a TV crew that followed me in a Central Pro-Am. We were on Bull Shoals, and they kept asking what kind of bait I was throwing. because it was going so fast, and it was a spook. What I'm getting at is, like, the clearer the water is, the more I want to move it, the faster I want to move it. And there's times, like, especially like on those heron lakes and stuff, but even here, that I won't walk it. I'll literally just reel it in, burn it like this, and then 4 or 5 walks, and then burn it again. And what you're doing is you're just taking away their ability to see the bait. They're seeing something skip across the top, and then whenever you kill it for 8 or 4 or 5 or 6 walks, that's when they get it. I don't think they're that far along here yet, just by the way that they're eating the bait. But I like to, even walking it, like I'm not going like that, which I'll do that a lot as the water gets dirtier. And I know that I'm fishing around, over the top of brush or something like that if I want to call them up. But this water's, I can see the trolling motor head like it's out of the water. I'm going to say we can see 5 or 6 foot deep. So I want to move it pretty quick. We ought to get bit right here, this point going into this spawning pocket. Got him that time. He's black. He likes to live shallow. One piece of advice for a topwater. It probably wouldn't be, a bait, or it's kind of, I did it for a lot of years. I threw like 15-pound monofilament. But if you're not throwing braid on a topwater, honestly, you're missing out. You can cast it much further. On a long cast, when you do get a bite, you just lean into it and it sinks the hooks good. You just have to drop the action of your rod. If you want to use a really soft rod with braid. And a lot of guys, they don't even use a leader. I still use like a 2-foot leader, and it's not so much for like the visual line watcher. It's just that with straight braid, it seems like whenever I get to walking that bait, sometimes it reaches around and grabs the braid. So that little piece of monofilament right there keeps it stiffer, where I don't tangle very often. That water is so clear. I really don't want the chrome one either. But they're eating it. I was moving that one fast, and he got it. Probably with the sun getting up and the wind picking up, I probably need to move it faster. Blowing up behind us. It's just weird that none of them, they're all out there where it kind of just, the water goes dark. They're not really up on the bank. On a normal day, I'd probably miss these fish, because I typically like to get up there and kind of parallel the bank where they can trap it against the bank. But a lot of the bites are coming out there probably 10 or 12 foot deep. Easy there, buddy. Easy. Get him fish back. 50-pound braid, he ain't gonna win. That's pretty cool. Over the cable. Smallmouth. Mm-hmm. I think silver's the deal. And the sun, and the white's better whenever it's cloudy, because I couldn't get a bite. So this bait, you know, as you can see, I mean, it's really small, probably. I mean, I'm guessing 2.5 inches. I can throw it a mile, and in this clear water, I think you're just gonna get a lot of bites. So I think we're gonna check her in for the day. I appreciate you guys riding along. Hopefully you learned something.